Ready?
Hello and welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, a video game music podcast. This is episode 37-10, and we are your hosts. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell.
And every week we listen to I can't keep up. We listen to great video game music from all consoles and all generations. We pick a topic, you pick a topic, and we pick some music, and we pick some games, and we just chat about it. It's like a listening party. We listen to some music, and we chat about the music, the games, the composers, you know, how we feel at the time, all that stuff.
And that's what it's all about. I was actually telling a friend recently how, unbeknownst to a lot of people, I feel like exchanging thoughts on music and taste in music is one of the most relaxing and fun things you can do with friends. Like, yeah. Obviously, it's a different story if your friends are just like people that are going to just trash your taste. Like, well, I listen to, I'm trying to think of an artist that no one likes. I don't know. I listen to Banjo Jim, or I don't know. I'm just making it up. And someone's like, the hell you listen to that guy for? What a lame taste in music you got. Well, that guy's not a good friend, and I would never exchange music taste with them again.
You know what I've been listening a lot to lately is Lewis Cole and the band.
Lewis Cole?
And the band.
What a terrible band.
And the band Nowhere. You're Nowhere, right?
Mm-mm. I'll have to look them up later, though.
I put them on in the morning when I'm giving Ollie breakfast, and we just dance around. I dance around. He watches me dance around.
Well, that's pretty fun.
It's really good.
I mean, keep in mind, if he's walking now, so he's going to be dancing, too.
I cannot wait. I want him to dance with me. And then I'm going to put him on the dance pad.
Oh, mercy. I mean, you see those little kid bodybuilders. You're going to have like this kid dance game savant. He's only 3 years old, and he's passing dropout.
That's the dream. He doesn't have to be president. He doesn't have to be a Nobel Prize winner.
He just has to beat Max Unlimited.
It's got to beat Max Unlimited. Yep.
Before he turns 7.
What are we doing here? Oh, that's right. We're doing a podcast. How you doing? I got lost for a second. So this week our topic is it's Halloween, right? It's Halloween month, as most people talk about it nowadays.
Spookoween.
It's Spookoween. So in this episode, it's about a week away or a few days away from Halloween. I can't remember how the scheduling works out, but we had a little poll on Discord. Should we do spooky games? But then I was also feeling, because I got the fire pit going outside, and I was like, we should do cozy games. But then I thought, Pernell doesn't really play a lot of cozy games.
No. We had the same thought, because I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to do cozy games.
I knew it.
I don't want to do cozy games.
I knew it.
Like if it was a resounding win, absolutely, that's fine. But there's something about October, for me, that is literally Shocktober. That is the month for spooky games. If we're going to have one episode where we're picking tracks, it's got to be spooky.
I'll say I'm already kind of in the mood for spooky stuff because I watched for the first time Bird Box. Bird Box?
Wasn't that the Robin Williams movie?
That's Bird Cage.
Oh. What the heck is Bird Box?
It's a Sandra Bullock. It's this world where if you're outside and you look anywhere, then you murder everybody around yourself. And you
that's where she's on a boat with a blindfold?
Yes.
Somehow rowing across a moving body of water with a blindfold.
Yeah, it doesn't go well. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, the actual boat scene does it?
No, you gotta watch the movie. Anyway, I watched that, and then the other night we actually watched again. Man, another message on our Facebook. Anyway, and then last night, was that before we watched the new Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
It
was fun. It was a lot of good.
So it was good.
It was good. It was good. I want to say it was good.
Okay, I mean, it's not that I was expecting it to be bad, but I wasn't expecting it to be great either.
It was a nostalgia fest. It was a lot like...
I was expecting it to be that.
It was very similar to the original Beetlejuice, in which Michael Keaton's character, Beetlejuice, is not really in it a whole lot.
Really?
If you rewatch the first one, which we did a month or two ago, just on a whim, he doesn't show up until like 40% into the movie. It's until
because
then
they're setting up the whole Deets family.
Until then, it's about the husband and the wife who are ghosts in the house, and it's really charming. And this one, it's a whole other story. Jenny Ortega is really good.
Are the ghost couple still in it?
They're not. No, they're not. They're not.
I believe they came back to. Did they? No, they didn't come back to life at the end, but they were comfortable in the house with them. No, they did come back to life.
They move on. They find a loophole and they do something else. I can't remember what they do, but this one's all about like it's cool. It's funny. It's actually more funny than spooky anyway.
I mean, I still stand by the way the best thing to come out of Beetlejuice was the cartoon.
It is, and that's what I was excited about because from when I was reading about it, it was like Winona Ryder has to team up with Beetlejuice to do something or other, and I was like, it's the cartoon.
In the new movie,
in the movie, but it's like kind of not really. I mean, Beetlejuice is still like an agent of chaos, and
hey, babe.
Yeah, kind of a problem. Very problematic. The original one, problematic. He says some gross stuff.
Well, I mean,
then you realize, but then you realize that like most of the dialogue was improv by Michael Keaton. It's even grosser.
But he was meant to be gross.
He was meant to be gross, but really gross. Gross in a way that I'm like not going to tolerate. Okay, so that's anyway. So I was thinking to myself, if I'm going to do the cozy games and you do the horror games, is this going to be like is it going to be too jarring to play them side by side?
Oh, nonsense! Nah. We've got listeners of refined taste.
Yeah,
that'll be fine.
And then I thought, whatever, we'll just do it anyway.
Yeah, that'll be fine. What are they going to do? Oh, well, I mean, it's not like we're giving them a complete stream of consciousness tracks. They're getting a track and chattering a track and chatter.
This is curated by two experts, right? PhDs in the field of video game music, right?
Excellent.
Look at our credentials.
Yeah, don't look at my credentials.
Which is not composing music, not creating video games,
but playing a lot.
But playing them and then talking about them.
Just playing a whole lot of
them. So before we get started into the music, I would like to thank everyone who's supporting us on Patreon. But I also want to say that we have a new merch store. So rhythmandpixels.com/merch. Links to our TeePublic shop. I moved away from Teespring. We have a TeePublic shop, and I have a whole bunch of new designs to check out. Some cool death metal shirts for Tim Fallon, for Motoi Sakuraba. Just more stuff that's more like video game music focused. Like if you want the old school Natsume logo, I put it on a shirt. Go for it. You know, who's going to stop you? Like
the man.
Right? There's Ultra games because Konami couldn't publish more than 5 games a year in America. So they created Ultra games to do 5 more. So now I put that logo on a shirt because what are they going to do?
Sue.
They ain't going to do nothing.
Konami go sue.
No, they'll probably just take it down. They took down a bunch of other stuff, so that's okay. And I keep getting messages on our Facebook that I'm violating services and they're going to take us down, but it's all malware, so it's all phishing.
It makes me wonder why we're on the radar now.
How? I think I have no idea. Like what is it?
Could be anybody. I think Carlos, Kung Fu Carlito, ratted us out.
He sold us out.
Sold us out to the man.
There's all the video game podcasts are all like fighting against each other. We're all like,
no, they're not.
Yeah, we're like doxing each other.
No, they're not. If anything, I feel like most of if not all of the VGM podcasts are pretty much copacetic.
Oh yeah, no, we all encourage each other no matter what. And we've all inspired each other.
Oh, yeah. So. I admit, I do feel like I've kind of fallen out of the loop over the years or the last few months or so. But I do kind of stick my neck in there and see what people are talking about in the groups I'm still a part of. And everybody seems to be very cozy still, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I still pop in on the Discords. I don't have a lot of time to listen to as much as I used to. I listen to movie podcasts. I'm really into Blank Check, which is about directors.
That was a terrible movie. About the little kid who could get all that money, he could just spend on wherever he wanted.
Who was that? Was that a Culkin?
No, it wasn't a Culkin. It was some rando kid, though, but it wasn't a Culkin.
Oh, man. Anyway,
I knew he had a blank check.
He had a blank check, and that's just fraud. That movie is called Fraud. I'm sorry.
Fraud check.
It's not a life hack. It's fraud. Okay, so moving on. So this is an even-numbered episode, which means I start things off. So I got to start things off with a game about running a bed and breakfast, but you're a bear in the woods. And guess what it's called?
Probably Bear and Breakfast.
Bear and Breakfast, my friend.
There it is.
Music by Andrew Landry. We're going to listen to the track called Whitestone Bay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Keep the claps down because of sleeping baby boy up there.
Oh God, that would be scary if we got that far.
We are listening to Whitestone Bay from the game Bear and Breakfast by Andrew Landry. This game is just adorable. Absolutely adorable.
The music wouldn't give me that impression. This is a bop.
I know. I was like expecting like some kind of like slow ambient, like hardly any percussion, and then this thing comes on. I'm like,
this forest beat.
I'm like, this is the first song I'm going to play on the show. It's super dope. I love this.
I mean, this is a great track.
Yeah, it's got like a cool, I don't know, like an indie rock kind of feel to it. So, but without being too complicated, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so you said this is again like it's a game. We're running a bed and breakfast with bears, and
yeah.
I'm assuming the guests are other bears, or are they humans?
They're humans.
They're not afraid of being eaten by these bears.
This bear, I mean, he looks like a bear, but he's got like a cool trucker hat on, so he's all right. Yeah, but I mean, again, it's
no one who's worn a trucker hat could ever be evil.
You're doing resource management. You're doing like sales. Like it's a cozy game. It's a cozy game.
They serve honey.
I haven't played it yet, but if it was mine, it would be honey themed.
Ooh.
It would be all over the bed. It'd be all over the furniture.
That just sounds like a very terrible
delicious
place to sleep.
Absolutely.
Also, you're just tempting fate with these bears. Excuse me, sir. I'm covered in honey and I don't know how to get it off. I tried to take a shower and it just sprayed me with more honey.
I think your first concern would be ants.
Well, no, I mean, ants or a lumbering bear with a trucker hat.
Yeah.
And you're in the woods where no one will see you.
Bears are incredibly dangerous, true. But in games, they can be very cute.
Until you walk up on them covered in honey.
A part of this, I found this Facebook group called, well, you better call a hearse because I'm going to pet that thing. And it's just people taking pictures of animals and like getting bit.
Oh, Jesus.
And of course, everyone's always posting like, hey, look at, why did they make bears so cute and you can't pet them?
They're deceptive.
I'm like,
that's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, that's right. They will eat you.
No, I kid, no. It's an offense mechanism.
Yeah.
There's no defense there.
Like, look at those ears. I'm like, yeah, I know. Bears are adorable.
They're better to hear you with. Look at those teeth. Yeah, the rest of the run. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the point is, you can keep your bears. They can look adorable on National Geographic.
So my brother lived in Alaska for a while. He lived in Juneau. And the last straw was an avalanche, which took out a power plant. And it was very painful to live up there. But one of the biggest problems was bears. Bears getting into people's garbage and all that stuff.
Really?
And you don't want to run into a bear. So, like, my brother's like me. He refuses to own a gun. And everyone in Alaska is like, you need to own a gun because there are bears.
Yeah, I would have. If I'm living out in the wilderness, you bet your tushy I'm going to have a gun.
And he's got like, I got 2 little kids. Like, this is dangerous. So, I think about that sometimes. I remember when there was a bear running around Delaware.
Hey, Delabear.
The Delabear. I was running a lot then. It's like 2021. And the Jack Markle Trail runs between Wilmington and Newark. And it's kind of in the backwoods. Like, it follows like train tracks. It's not a scenic run, but it's a trail that connects the two. If you want to get to Old Newcastle, you can just bike it. It's like 10 miles. And I remember halfway through the track, I'm like, there's going to be a bear. I know it. If there's going to be a bear anywhere, the bear's going to be out here.
This is when Delabear was noted to be lurking somewhere.
Yeah, I was remember reading about it. I'd be like, oh, that's cute. And then I was running. I'm like, there could be a bear anywhere.
Well, I mean,
I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I'm not sure if it was for better or worse for you, but I'm pretty sure that bear was pretty emaciated at the time. So
yeah,
he's going to be really hungry or he's lethargic.
Yeah,
so.
Probably more in danger of being mugged than being mugged by a bear.
Yeah, pretty much. Give me all your honey.
As it is now. Okay, well, that is Bear and Breakfast.
Bear and Breakfast.
Andrew Landry. I feel like I've seen that composer's name before.
I've never
that
heard
ring a
of
bell to you?
Mm-mm.
I'll have to look it up later. But what's your first track?
So this game has been on my mind for the last few days because it keeps coming up in conversation with a certain knucklehead. So I'm going to pick this track from the game Sweet Home. I was going to go with my favorite track, but this track, Haunted Room, actually sounds better for a listener, I think.
Right.
So this is the final area from the game Sweet Home, composed by Junko Tamiya.
Ooh, all right.
You're listening to the final area theme from the game Sweet Home on the Nintendo Entertainment System, composed by Junko Tamiya. Full disclosure, though, every track of this game is a fairly short loop. I might convince Rob to put the other track I had interested in on the show during this dialogue just for the heck of it, splitting it up a bit. But I wanted to pick a track from this level for two reasons. One, because, well, I just think it's better for the listening ear, but also I think it has a better story to it than what I could tell regarding the track that I actually was going to choose otherwise. So, Sweet Home is a game that, for many, at this point, most of us know this, but if you don't...
It's an NES title.
It's an NES title.
So this is a classic game.
It's a classic game, but what most people know now, but in case you don't, I'll still clarify it. Sweet Home is the original inspiration for what became the Resident Evil series. And the only reason that we started getting the Resident Evil games is because when it came time to make a new version of this game, apparently Capcom had lost the license to this Sweet Home property. So rather than go about trying to deal with that again, they were like, well, I guess we'll just make an original game, but use a lot of the same concepts that this game brought to the table, which includes inventory management, survival in the sense that there are 5 characters in your party, all people that entered the Sweet Home. I can't remember the name of the estate, but there's such and such estate. I think it's like the Kamiya estate. But anyway, they all entered the estate together to film a documentary, and the mansion was haunted, and they couldn't get out, and the only way they could resolve it was by pretty much solving the mystery of the manor, which takes you down a number of twists and turns narrative-wise. And gameplay, to me, was a fairly revolutionary concept. You had these 5 characters, and you could control them either as a group or individually. As a group, you can control a max of, I want to say it was 3 at a time, and you can separate them as you needed to. You can switch between them and like walk around different parts of the house and solve puzzles and stuff. Huh. So you might have a scenario where a character needs to stand over here and hit a switch, and then these characters need to go over here.
Okay.
In addition to that, death was permanent. If a character was killed in the game and you didn't have the medic character still alive to heal them before a certain window of time expired, I think that was the main condition, because somehow I didn't die. If they died, they stayed dead. And that just made your experience that much harder, because the other part of this game that's brutal is, again, the inventory management. Right. Every character has a very limited amount of things they can carry around, and items are needed to traverse different sections of the house. You might need a rope to cross the rooftop, or you might need a candle to light, a lighter to light a candle, or to light a dark room, and all kinds of things. And every character has an ability innate to them specifically. So there's one character that has a camera because he's a cameraman, so he always has the camera. If he dies, you have to find a camera item in the game, and that takes up an inventory slot, and you don't want to do that. So you're dealing with all this kind of stuff, and it was just so much fun, and it was legitimately scary. Like, certain enemies would show up, and you're like, oh crap, what the hell is that? And you don't want it to kill you, and you could get spirited away. Like, there's these little wisps that would show up and like grab a character and just like take them somewhere random in the house. You have to go find them.
Interesting.
And
that sounds cool.
It's really cool. And this last track that we just played, it plays in the last area of the game, the last section. I forgot to mention also, it's RPG turn-based combat.
Okay, I was curious if it was like action or...
No, total RPG. But the final area of the game, you're trying to get to the final boss, who I won't spoil because people might want to go and play it. And as you're running through this weird labyrinth, these like wisps are trying to pick you up and take you away or hurt you. I can't remember what they did, but I think they were taking you away. But I was terrified of the damn things. And you had to duck under alcoves to make them miss you, so they would fly over you because they were chasing you the whole time.
Yeah.
So you couldn't outrun them. So you're like, get on the thing, and you hide out. And there's like certain scheduled battles there where you have to fight like clones of yourself and all kinds of cool stuff. It was tense. I remember like, oh, crap, get on the thing. And you're waiting like, okay, I need a moment to get out.
No, this one never got a domestic release, right? So you played like a translation.
Yeah, fan translations took care of this for us. Thank heavens for that. So score 1 for emulation.
So the characters in the permadeath, I mean, maybe they got the idea from this game. It reminded me of the Friday the 13th game.
I think Friday the 13th was before this because Sweet Home was one of the last games on the NES, I believe.
Yeah. I just know that a lot of like the Western releases, because I think that was like an LGN jam. Like that was like some of the NES releases we got were like, they weren't exactly just came out in Japan. Like they came out in Japan and then like a year later we got it.
I'm surprised to even hear that those LGN games came out in Japan. They were just like made for the American audience.
No, because I think like a game like Sweet Home. Actually, no, I guess you're right. I don't know. I just know there's a weird gap, and so it's always hard to tell like what came out when. Yeah. Before what? But
well, I mean, that was back before you couldn't guarantee localization or anything, regardless. So it wasn't even worth tracking. You're just like, I got this game. It came out. It's fun.
And localization may be kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there weren't exactly dedicated localization teams, rather than someone who's like, you have to translate this right now by tomorrow.
There's the real horror right there. Yeah. I am error. Oh!
Have you ever been in a house that you felt was haunted in some way, or someone told you?
An abandoned house I've been inside of, yes, but I never quite got the vibe of it being in a haunted house.
You were in like this abandoned place, but you didn't get like a haunted kind of like spooky, like I need to get out of here kind of vibe.
Nah. No. For me, haunting, like spooky, got to get out of here is like things like being stuck in the sewer or being stuck in the woods at night.
When were you stuck in the sewer?
I told you the stories. Like I used to run around like in Brandywine Park, getting in the drainage tunnels down there.
That's scary. That's because those things go all over the place.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
and it was freaking terrifying.
Yeah, we used to mess with that too when we were kids. Man, we used to do lots of crazy stuff in the 90s. So we went to our high school, the local high school. I won't say the names, but that high school was under construction in our third year. So we went to another one. Mm-hmm. In another town over. We had to be bused over there. Terrible year. Hated that school. I didn't like school anyway. But that year it was under construction. We still lived near the school. Mm-hmm. And we had like a big sleepover, me and my two other friends, Josh and Larry, and they had just learned to rollerblade. Again, it was the 90s. Rollerblading was awesome. I couldn't get the hang of it, so I followed them around on a mountain bike, and we rode into the school. Like we went onto the construction site as they were working on the school, and we just rode around the empty school,
and then
in the hallways, and
then before you realized it, a construction worker came out and said, "Get your ass out of here!"
Honestly, I was like, looking back on it, I'm like, wow, it must have been kind of spooky. Like it was like middle of the night in this like abandoned school. But I didn't care. I was like, I'm just riding my bike in a hallway.
Hall pass my butt. I don't need no sticking hall pass.
I'm a criminal.
Something about trespassing always felt fun.
Yeah, right? Kids don't do it.
I mean, hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Something about that. That's why it was like a rite of passage, an abandoned house, or an empty, like I said, a school when it's closed but the door was open. You run around the school. There's always something.
We were at we went to Brandywine Creek State Park this past weekend with Ollie, and on the trail it said that there is active hunting off the trail, but only bow hunting to control the deer population. And I thought to myself, that's new, because as I'm walking up this trail and like there's woods all around us, I'm like, when we were kids, we would just pick a direction in the woods and just go in that direction, no matter what was in the way. And
then out of nowhere, a bear showed up and said, "Would you like to come over for honey and toast?"
I would say, like nowadays, like I would be terrified of being shot by an arrow.
Oh yeah, or a bear.
But back then, it was like, are you gonna find a bunch of drunk people in the woods
with a bear?
Usually, yeah, with a bear. No bears around here. I don't think there's any native bears, right? We're not like...
Well, there are, but the thing is...
But they're further north, like in the Poconos areas.
No, I'm talking further south, like in literal bear. There are actually bears down there.
Oh, in Bear?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
That's why they're called Bear?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there have been bears sighted, because what happens is there are wooded areas down there where they can live.
Yeah.
But construction makes them come out. That's technically where Della Bear came from.
Oh, okay.
It was a situation where their habitat was bulldozed. They ran out looking for food, and they got lost.
That's a much sadder story. I just assumed because we were so close to like kind of the Appalachian like kind of area that eventually they got lost and came this way.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting how that stuff plays out, though. Like, you'd be surprised what animals and what wildlife lives in your own backyard.
It's true, yeah.
Because they don't want to come near us, and if you don't disturb their habitat, they won't come out.
Yeah, and they're just out there.
Yeah, like there's a stretch of trees just near my house where like families of deer live in, and the stretch of trees is surrounded by 4 highways, or 4 roads rather. So it's like they have very little space, but they live there. You would never know it if you didn't go and like stick your neck in there at the right time of day, like I did.
You're like, hello. Oh.
No, it's fine. It just monitor went to sleep. Just for those who are wondering.
Oh yeah, that is absolutely right. Oh, I've had too many blue screens. I'm sorry.
So full stop. Rob's We've been talking really paranoid because he's had a blue screen to death.
Also, we've been talking about bears maybe a little too much. So no more bear talk.
Bear with us as we change topics.
Oh my God. Okay, my next track is coming from a game. It's a side scroller.
Is it berry fun?
It's a bunch of magical girls, and they are looking for magical ingredients to make food to sell at a shop.
Oh, Berry Bear-Uchan.
It's called Magical Delicacy, starring
Brer Bear.
Yogi Bear. the Berenstain Bears. No, this is Magical Delicacy, music by Dale North. This is The Gardens. I'm just imagining the Disney character breaking into song, walking through town, talking about how they just can't wait to leave this town. Their father doesn't understand them.
Wasn't that an actual song from an actual Disney movie?
Every Disney movie.
I know there's obviously the one where like Belle was happy about everything in her town, like the baker bakes bread.
But I'm so bored, I have to leave this town. And then the Little Mermaid's like, but I'm so bored, I have to leave this sea.
And this guy, yeah, it is true.
Lilo and Stitch is like, wow, wow, wow.
I love that's by far my favorite Disney movie.
Mine too. Although I gotta say, I've been listening because I have a baby. I've been listening to a lot of Disney music. I haven't seen the movie Moana, but I've been listening to the music from it, and it's really good. Super into it.
That's the movie with it's like the woman and the big burly dude, right?
Yeah. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Also,
played by him.
Yeah. Aladdin. Also, Jasmine wants to leave her life to go live.
Did she?
I mean, she eventually got with the genie, right? Is that how that ended?
Yeah.
But there was a parrot involved.
Not involved with that actual aspect of things.
Man,
The parrot was evil.
Parrot? No. Jafar was
Until
evil.
the cartoon, yes, he was.
Jafar was evil.
Iago was too.
Iago, Gilbert Gottfried was on the level.
No, he was very much on par with Jafar. It wasn't until the cartoon where they made Iago kind of good.
Well, you need to have a fun animal friend.
They had the tiger and the monkey.
A tiger and the monkey.
They just couldn't talk, but they were there.
Full disclosure, I never watched the Aladdin cartoon.
You missed out on such creative villains as Abysmal. God, that was a cringeworthy name. Abysmal. Somebody stayed up all night to come up with that.
Someone wrote that down and was like, it's not getting any better. I'm going to lunch, taking the day off.
It was like, guys like that Simpsons episode was like, I need you to come up with a villain, creative name like Abysmal, only less whack.
Yeah, less whack. Can you not make it as whack as Abysmal?
Abysmal sounds great.
Abysmal. Does Abysmal sound good to you? Yeah. Abysmal. Okay, going to lunch.
We're going to lunch. It's over.
It's over. Oh.
Terrible behind name.
You know what? It's 3:00. Might as well just go home for the day. We did pretty good.
God, I used to watch that cartoon. I watched all the Disney afternoon stuff, but
there's a Tarzan one too, right?
I ain't watched that one, though.
Yeah, I remember when me and Chrissy moved in together.
Actually, I don't even think that was on Disney after. I think that was one that came on CBS Saturdays.
Maybe we watched. We would watch Recess before going to work every day, and there was commercials for Tarzan and all these other shows I just never saw.
Recess, for what little I remember, was primarily interesting because they did a lot of crap during Recess.
Oh, they did a lot. But if you ever think about Recess when you were a kid, it was a whole. It was
an event.
It was a universe. It was a microcosm of all these different weird social circles. Kids figuring out social circles,
and everything seemed so much farther away from each other. The playground seemed massive. The jungle gym was over here. The 4-square court was over here. People played basketball over here. People played tag over there.
Yeah.
Now I could just probably hopscotch the whole freaking thing.
I know.
I'm sorry, they bulldozed it for school.
No. So we used to have recess at the DuPont track, and that thing is still pretty big.
Also, it's like it would have a jungle gym.
No, I would just run around the track and pretend to be a horse or a ninja or something.
Winnie, I'm a horsey. Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
Kids, and that's why your playground should have an actual jungle gym.
So you don't grow up like us. So anyway, this is another style of cozy game is crafting, getting ingredients, crafting into things, and then selling it for other things to craft more things.
Which, honestly, that's my wheelhouse. I love games that let me do that kind of thing. I like resource conversions.
Yeah, board games especially, right?
Yeah.
That's your whole thing. But I never thought I'd be into it. Spirit Fair, I really, really fell into that. But we tried playing a game called, was it Witchwood? Or Wormwood?
Witchwood?
Witchwood. We didn't get into that one. I was like,
that's what I'm asking. Which wood?
It was the wood with the witches, dude.
Oh, Witchwood.
Witchwood. It was a lot of crafting in that one. And then, what was the other one? Cozy Grove, which is a really big one.
How is that not a game?
Which what?
Witch Hood.
That'd be kind of fun.
It makes sense. And it could go either way.
It could go either way.
It could be Witch Hood, as in being brought up in a coven of witches, or Witch Hood.
Yeah, or a coven, in the hood. Yeah,
it could be Witch Hood San Andreas. It'd be great. I'd play it.
I saw a TikTok video of a bunch of kids playing GTA, and they're like, "I just told my grandma this is the news," and she's like, "Oh my god!"
I don't know how that would work exactly.
And they're just crashing the car into people. I'm like, that's all that game is. It's just be a bad person simulator.
And it's kind of funny because they're still modding. They're still using that main character in mods and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll bring that up at the end of this episode for sure. Just remember that little nugget.
Okay. Okay. Speaking of nuggets, Pernell.
I'm still waiting because I don't know what we're talking about with nuggets.
Your next song is going to be a nugget.
I don't know about all that.
A nugget of good music, right?
We'll find out in a second. This is a game that I may try to get through this month. I've been having a bad luck of, actually, I guess by the time this episode, because that'll be the end of the month, so we'll find out if I succeed in the Discord chat. But it's been a bad month for me trying to get games played. But I do think I could play this in Shocktober. This is a game called Crow Country, and the track title is called Fairy Tale Town, and it's composed by an artist named Ocheroid.
This sounds like a cozy game. Crow Country.
Yeah, so cozy.
All right.
So cozy. Yay. What I mean is, hi. Welcome back to Rhythm and Pixels. You are listening to Fairy Tale Town from the game Crow Country. Caw, composed by Ocheroid, or the Ocho-roid, as they say sometimes in some places. Anyway, this game is fantastic. I need to get back and finish it though, but it is a survival horror, if you will, game. As a top-down-ish, depending on the area, it can kind of shift the angle a little bit, so it's like more of a different shift. But it's basically a top-down, where you're controlling a detective who is exploring an amusement park. Because I'm trying to remember, it's been a long time, which is why I need to get back to it. But she's trying to find her sister here, like a missing person is her sister. And there's a belief that she's lost in this abandoned amusement park. And it's just a lot of fun.
It does. I was just thinking, like, it has like an N64 sound to it. It has kind of an old school, like,
it's totally PS1
look to it. Yeah, I like that.
They were absolutely going for like the PS1 style. And you're going around this amusement park, going to different attractions, and obviously behind the attractions and like different dirty areas, like the trash, like basic trashy lobbies and the like. It's just a lot of fun to play. And it does, of course, like survival horror games, have limited inventory space and shambling monsters that kind of cause problems and NPCs that you don't know the allegiances of. It hits the notes perfectly. I originally got this game, I want to say at the beginning of the summer, but it works better to play it in October as a Halloween game, which conveniently for Switch owners, if you were waiting for on there, it actually is releasing on October 16th. Or whenever you listen to this episode. It should probably be out by then. Yeah. So, by all means, pick it up.
It looks cool. It looks really cool.
It's a great game. And the music, like this track, does a good job of creating a really disturbing atmosphere.
It's got that sound to it. It's funny because Crow Country, Fairy Tale Town sounds like a cozy game. It sounds like something I was going to play. Like,
oh yeah, ain't nothing cozy about this.
Yeah, crows, or you're crows, and you got like a little shop on the side of the road, and you're selling like
quote the crow,
and you're selling like
corn,
postcards and Slim Jims.
Quote the corn.
Quote the very raven. Different. But this is very, very different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like you got the raven, you got the crow, you got the Squawk and McGee, and the point is I think this game is good. You should play it. You should play it. Pointing at Rob that time.
Maybe.
It seems like it would be pretty short. Like I could picture myself. That's why I'm thinking I could play through it. Like I'm gonna play Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Probably this weekend. Maybe I won't finish it because right. But I believe I could get to Crow Country next week and knock it out before the end of October and be perfectly comfortable with that. If I can at least beat one horror game this October,
I believe you can do it. You can do it.
I would like to.
Some of them, I feel like
I wanted to play Alan Wake 2, but I put it on hard mode like a knucklehead, and I'm suffering.
I was going to say, some of these get difficult, and then I know you like to play them on hard mode.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in Alan Wake only because I played through Control. And I'm like, I want to know what the connection is.
It's good. You should just play it.
Just do it.
Get the first one for peanuts if you don't want to just jump into the sequel, though the sequel's probably cheap now, too.
Oh, I would probably want to do them sequentially.
Yeah, well, you're already out of sequence, sir. You played Control first.
Well, it's been a long time, so that's all right. I don't remember anything about it except I had a good time with it.
Oh, that worked.
All right, so my next track is coming from a game all about managing a big garden. It's called Loftia. And this is the Hanging Gardens Network, composed by Tomas Palazzi. Okay, this is music from Loftia, composed by Tomas Palazzi. This is the Hanging Gardens Network. I feel this has got like a PlayStation vibe to it too. Maybe more in the Dreamcast side, but that era of music.
I can kind of see that.
I can see that.
But I will say that there is a point where eventually the music just kind of starts to blend. Because once they got, like, think of it like this, TurboGrafx, Red Book audio was pretty distinct. And it was only because a lot of the games use like rock music or something.
Oh yeah, the differences between the different styles of things. It's also like the age of it too. Like between the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Like not just the technology of the playback of the music on the system, but the technology that was being used to make music at the time just changed drastically.
Yes, it did. But I feel like once you got to like the Saturn and PS1, they were pretty much just putting out tracks.
Yeah,
in wave form on the disc.
That's true. It's true. But it got me thinking, like, on the PS1, like, I feel like the survival horror and, like, spooky genre really started to take off. 'Cause that's where, when you think of Resident Evil, you think of Silent Hill. Like, that was on that system.
Yeah, that created the genre.
What other spooky games can we find on the PS1 that are worth playing?
Dino Crisis, I'm sure people still would say is worth playing.
Parasite Eve has a spooky vibe to it, and that's because that was also
absolutely
Square,
it was intended
right?
to be. Yes, Parasite Eve. Kodelka. Let me think. Man, it's been a minute. We already said Silent Hill.
Fatal Frame was PS2, right?
PS2.
Yeah,
it's PS2. It's hard to say. There's a couple that are probably on there. I'm just not remembering
Clock
right
Tower.
now. Yeah, Clock Tower was on there. Good catch there.
Gallerians, I think, kind of fits a little bit in that section.
Wasn't that the game with the kid with the psychic energy?
Yeah, the weird psychic energy, couldn't control it, had to shoot himself with drugs. That was the whole game.
Oh.
Doing drugs.
Okay, then. Galarians.
Yeah, like, got it. Galarian.
And the funny part is, I bet if I went and looked at my library at home, I probably have a couple other ones.
Yeah,
but I feel like they didn't start really going ham on them until the PS2.
Yeah.
PS2, you start seeing a bunch of different ones. Obviously, Resident Evil 2 and 3 would count. They were both on PS1.
One of the earlier titles, might have been a launch title, was a Heart of Darkness, a Shadow.
Shadow Madness was terrible, and that was an RPG.
No, it was like an adventure game where, like, you're messing with time. I have to look it up again. I played it again recently.
Talking about the game where it's kind of a time loop, and the cover had two people on it, and it was like a clock tower in the background.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, because, like, I remember, like, one of the characters was the homunculus. It was very strange. And I liked it. It wasn't hard, and it wasn't a great game, but I remember really liking that one.
That was before I got into narrative games, so I didn't give it a chance.
I thought, that was me too. And not until much later that I was like, oh, I'll give it a chance, and I really enjoyed it. All right, I think we're on to your last mainline track for the show.
We are, and I have little to no experience with this game. I think I may have played the first 30 minutes of it, but I want to go back to it. This track is called Courtyard. And it is from what I like to tell myself is a deep cut. The game is called Them and Us, and is composed by Tihomir Hristakov. Welcome back. You're listening to Courtyard from the game Them and Us, composed by Tihomir Ristazov. So, had to get at least one track on this show that had the whole atmospheric sound. So, pulled it off. This game, I want to do more with it because I liked what I played of it. It was developed as an indie on Steam. Part of me wants to say it was done by like one person, but I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot on that assumption. But as it stands, this game is sort of an homage to like the PS1 era survival horror games, but with better graphics than like Resident Evil 1, maybe more like Resident Evil 3 graphically, or even like Code Veronica. But it's a large game, suppose. I've heard it takes a while to get through. And it does a good job with the atmosphere. I remember enjoying that when I played it. And it starts out with like a girl, like a woman on a highway. She's wearing like a leather jacket or something. And the vehicle she was in overturns and she crawls out of it. She's like stumbling through like a wreckage of like cars. And she gets to the house she's staying at. Or not that she's staying at, but like the house that she escapes to from this weird traffic situation. Now I want to say there's also spooky stuff happening in the traffic. She's trying to get away from that. And then she ends up at this house, and she's trying to get the heck out. And that's all I know.
Watching a little bit of gameplay. It does have like a Resident Evil kind of style vibe to it, but like those earlier cutscenes were kind of a comic book style. Looked very neat.
Oh yeah, like and the funny part, the part you're looking at right now, that's the part I've been through.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like that early section where you're going through the long hallway, the dark hallway, and you can like see stuff outside. Like it's a cool game though. Like I'm willing to give it more time, and it was also one of those rare cases where I didn't pay full price, but I still paid a decent amount to get it because I was like, I want to support this product. It looks like it could be fun.
Yeah,
and fingers crossed it'll be good. Otherwise, I wasted some money.
I mean, if it's got that Resident Evil kind of style to it, like it's gonna have some fun there. It's gonna be that spooky flavor.
Like, don't be surprised if at least one or two times I just want to do an episode of like Steam selections, like just games I found on Steam.
Yeah, then that could be a big episode, though, right?
It could be. It could be an episode where it's just like, just give me a chance to sit here and ramble to you, and I'll just pick tracks that I picked solely from games I played on Steam.
That'll be like our next Rhythm and Pixels chat, just like. The Steam train.
There it is.
Steam train.
I could give you a list. I'm telling you, man. Getting the Steam Deck was probably the stupidest thing for my wallet I could have ever done. Because, I mean, keep in mind, I got
an opportunity to play all the games in my library. No, an opportunity to
just get more.
Put more games in your library.
I got this a year ago, and I'm pretty sure I doubled my library since getting Steam Deck. And I had like 500 at the time.
Wow.
Between humble bundles and fanatical bundles and just games I want to personally get and review games, it just added up.
Man, I think about what my retirement is going to be like, and it's going to be entertaining because I'm going to play through everything.
The funny part right now, I just want to get to retirement. That's the scary part. I'm like, what is up with this life right now? Everything is so weird and aging is annoying. So now I'm like, I just want to reach the point of retirement.
Reach retirement. You'll get there. We'll get there. That's a really sad thought. We'll make it.
I want to.
We'll make it.
I want to.
We'll get there together. On that note, spooky, terrifying note.
That's it. There's your Halloween.
Are you going to make it to the bonus round? Can you survive the bonus round? I mean, the bonus round is where we're playing covers and remixes and just other styles of music. As part of our theme. That's terrible. This is from a game called Bloomtown, Another Story.
That's my game.
You know this one? Yeah.
I've been playing the heck out of it.
It looked like your style. I was like looking up cozy games and stuff, and this came up for a lot of people. But it's definitely definitely RPG style. This is the song called Ignite, music by Vitaly Molchanov and vocals by Natalia Oko.
Oh, the Ocho.
The Ocho again. The Ohochenikskia.
I'm going to try to pronounce this on the break because holy cow.
There's a lot of consonants, so we'll get there. But anyway, fantastic music. Holy moly. Mm-hmm. This soundtrack is killer. So huge promotion. Like, check this out. If you're not even into this game, This game doesn't tickle your fancies. This soundtrack will. So check it out. So we're going to listen to the track called Ignite from Bloomtown, Another Story.
Just take a step away from breaking promises. We'll never be as young as we are now. We'll never fall apart, cause we all shining bright. You never let us go into the dark. Walking through the dreamland, searching for the answers, leaving all behind again. Blooming joy of madness, throwing soul into flames. This is how we got this far. Make yourself to believe in Christian dreams that leave swaying in the dark. Take my heart in the night and let the fire ignite. Open up your mind. Open up your mind. Open up your mind. In this labyrinth of life, we try to be brave. Through the ups and downs, we'll seize the day. Together we will face every storm in our ways. With heart to blaze, we're ready to ascend. Walking through the dreamland, searching for the answers, leaving all behind again. Blooming joy of madness, throwing soul into flames. This is how we got this far. Make yourself to believe in Christian dreams that leave swaying in the dark. Take my heart in the night and let the fire ignite. Open up your mind. Make yourself to believe in Christian dreams that leave swaying in the dark. Take my heart in the night and let the fire ignite. Open up your mind.
Oh my God, Pernell. How have I not heard of this game?
Because it only came out like 2 weeks ago.
I should have heard it 2 weeks ago. This is incredible. It was hard to pick a song. It was hard to pick a song from this game.
Yeah, I know my
There's
favorite.
So many. This one's awesome.
It's a
That
good
is
one.
so good.
But I have a favorite.
You have a favorite?
Oh, I absolutely have a favorite. It's the one that wherever it comes on in the battle, I'm like, yes, my track's on. And I get excited.
It's so good. I mean, that's really, really good. You were saying it's definitely a Persona, like indie Persona.
It's
style.
indie Persona.
Yeah.
It's about a little girl and her brother who get shipped off to Bloomtown for the summer by their mother to stay with their grandfather. And while they're in this town, there are weird and crazy things going on because children are disappearing.
Oh, that's right. It's got like it's almost like a Stranger Things kind of vibe to it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
And then out of nowhere, your main character gets sucked into having to make a deal with a character named Lucifer, who is a demon, not the Lucifer, but still his name. And the deal gets her the ability to channel a guardian, so basically a persona, to help her fight the demons that are going to basically factor into her summer vacation. And she has until the end of the summer to track down 3 rogue demons and take them down for Lucifer, or he takes her soul. So you get to go fishing and ride a bike and
listen to this rad music during like battles and stuff. I'm sure. Right?
Yeah,
That's
and this is that thing that I wish more RPGs did. So few do that, where that rather than just like, here's the battle theme, and then here's the boss theme, and here's the mid boss theme. They're like, here's like 5 battle tracks, and they just play at different times during regular battles, and then there's a boss track and a mid boss track. I'm like, there it is. Like, give me variety here. That way I can feel excited when a track I like comes on. I can cringe when a track I don't like comes on.
Well, I remember Persona 3, when you're going through Tartarus, it would, like, depending on the levels that you were at, like, it was the same song, but it would like different instruments would come in, and it would be like
during the running around.
Yeah, it would like expand, and like the song would get more intense, or it would have more instrumentation. And so, but I like the idea where there's like a lot of different songs that could possibly play, not just based on the environment, just for variety, right? Because you're gonna have a lot of battles. And,
exactly.
Yeah, you might be in it for a while, and to have like a cool rock song like this, like that's awesome. Like it sounds so good.
Yeah. I just like it. Like the OST for this game is really good. It's not even a ton of tracks. I think the game's OST may have like 15 tracks in it, but it's a really good.
But they're all
OST
killers. They're killers. Yeah, they're all really, really good. So yeah, huge thumbs up from me. Bloomtown.
Yeah, give it. I mean, if you find, I mean, it's not too expensive. I mean, I feel like you'd enjoy it.
It sounds like I would.
It's very short. I mean, it's compared to Persona for freaking short. You could probably beat this game.
That's
in
one of the
20
longest
hours.
Okay, yeah. Persona is one of the longest games I've ever played.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, as much as I want to have the stomach for, who knows if I even would anymore.
One of the longest.
I better find it because Metaphor comes out next week. So
first person, like one of the longest, like single player, like experience, like linear games that I've ever played. Rather than like how many hours have I put into Street Fighter?
I get. Trust me, I get you.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest part of all. I think about this regarding RPGs. Like, is there going to come a point? There should come a point where I just look at any future RPGs and say, I don't care anymore because I have a bunch back here that are just waiting in the wings. Each one of them will take 100 hours probably, and if I hope to play through them before I die, I have to just stop and play what I've got.
You would have to quit any video game media.
Well, the thing is, it's not about any media.
Maybe
it's just I can't get more. If I know...
No, because you're going to see it and you're going to get interested.
Oh, I see. Oh, you mean media as in like news and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And being involved in like the media is what I also mean.
Yeah, that's a danger right there. Yeah. But
hey, here's a code. Like, oh, I like it.
Well, with that code, I might be like, look, you're going to get tried out, but I ain't finishing you. And the moment the review's done, I'm going back to my stuff because I need it. But at the same time, I get what you're saying too. If I got to put 10, 20 hours into this review game, that's 10 to 20 hours I could have put into Trails in the Sky or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or one of the Dragon Warrior game or Dragon.
I never finished Dragon Quest 11.
Dragon Quest. Those are big games.
And then Dragon Quest 3 remake's coming out next month. Of course, I'm getting that. And then it's like, shoot,
that's a lot.
It is a lot. I need to clone myself and fix my back, and I'm good to go.
All right, what is your bonus round track for me?
So it is a change. It is a remix or a remake of a track, mind you, but it is a remake of a track for a game that was remade. Hey, Martyrs, how you doing, buddy? Composed again by Akira Yamaoka. This is from the Silent Hill 2 remake, and the track title is called "Lament of Heaven's Night."
Ooh, I didn't even it didn't occur to me like, oh, there's a Silent Hill 2 remake. They're probably going to redo all that awesome music.
I wasn't expecting it, honestly, because of Bloober Team. I didn't think they were going to get Akira Yamaoka on board because he's a Konami guy. And then again, no, he might not be anymore. But back then, for sure, he was.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it was different. Back then, like a lot of them stuck with the developers they were with, or they had contracts they couldn't get out of. And nowadays, most
they're just freelance.
They're freelance, yeah. Oh, let's check it out. we're back. That was from the Silent Hill 2 remake. Does it have a cool name like Silent Hill 2 the something, or is it just remake?
No, they just call them Silent. Actually, I don't even think it has remake on the title. It just says Silent Hill 2 on the package. But the track title is called Lament of Heaven's Night, composed by our boy Akira Yamaoka.
So we're going to say Lament of Heaven's Night arranged, maybe?
I think, maybe. Just call it that. I mean, 'cause I don't think that's that may not be the name of the original title.
Yeah.
Just call it that. Just call it Lament of Heaven's Night.
I'm calling it Silent Hill 2 remake. You know what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there's like a track listing I've seen that has it listed as that title too. So that is the official name.
I think so. But yeah, that's awesome. Like, I don't know why it didn't occur to me that there was going to be a bunch of arranged music for a remake of Silent Hill 2, which has some really cool tracks to begin with.
Yeah, I'm just glad the code came through because I want to play it. I wanted to play it, but I couldn't mentally justify paying $70 for it because I felt like, I mean, I'll find out before the review comes up whether or not I feel like it justifies a full cost. But my brain was like, the original still holds up.
Yeah, I was
can go back
say,
and play it today.
Hearing about it, I'm like, I want to play it again. But let me know if it's any good. I might, because if I want to play it again, maybe a remake would be worthwhile to go back to it. Because I mean, like the way the controls were and everything, like weren't easy, but like it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah. You're supposed to be a little Joe Everybody.
Yeah, I like that.
If anything, what I wish they did, which I'm pretty sure they didn't, it would have been nice if they expounded on the characters. Like it wasn't just the little snippets, as it were. Maybe give us a little more context on their past or something.
Yeah, if they do a little bit more. Like this Final Fantasy VII remake and Redux and Rebirth, like they've done so much more.
And it's costing them too.
People love it though, man. People absolutely love it.
They can love it all they want. It's still costing them. I don't think they're making their money back, to be honest with you. Wow. I need to look up some financial reports, but I do believe they're not making the money back, but they're in too deep.
Well, for more information on this part of our show, which I am in way too deep in. I'd take a second mortgage on the house just to get the bonus round done. Go to rhythmandpixels.com. We'll have links to all of these artists' SoundClouds and Bandcamps. Everywhere you can go and buy the music and support the artists. Get the Bloomtown soundtrack. It rocks.
And when we come back, you should play my track.
All right, we'll do it. Hey, thank you for joining us on episode 37-10 of Rhythm and Pixels. Spooky Cozy. Spook-cozy. We're going to call it that. And yeah, it's the time of the year in our part of the world where I start to just want to get cozy. And then I want to watch something scary.
Well, no, I'm not doing that. At this point, I just go to the Wikipedias and read the synopses of all the movies because I don't have time anymore.
The exact same thing. What is it? I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch like the crazy slasher movie, right? Because I don't have the stomach for it. But I'll read about it.
Yeah. Funny part is like,
what am I missing?
Sometimes it's not even about the stomach, though. That has happened once. Though my friends made me watch freaking Hostel anyway.
I heard that. That's like people who like slashers are like, no, don't. It's no.
To me, the issue with Hostel. No, the thing is, Hostel. It is gory, but Hostel hits hard because it's one of the rare ones that actually feels like it could happen. I mean, the premise, where it takes place, how easy it probably be to hide the crimes.
Yeah,
it's too possible.
Well, this one, The Substance. Have you heard of this one, The Substance?
No.
It's
sounds like it's about substance abuse.
It's supposed to be really, really good, but like apparently the last like 15 or 30 minutes are so graphic and gory, like it's insane.
Yeesh. Well, clearly she has a spinal issue.
So I'm like, I'll read about this.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if I can stomach that. But it's supposed to be one of the cool ones that's out right now. But yeah,
the funny part is like
it takes a while. It takes a lot for me to sit down and watch a scary movie because it doesn't just ask a lot from me. I gotta be in the mood.
But the thing about it is, like, I don't even feel like... Well, I got to definitely be in the mood, that's for sure. But I don't like watching movies. I'm not big for watching movies alone. I'll watch a TV show alone and then marathon it. Yeah. But something about watching a whole movie by myself, I'd rather play a video game or anything different?
Well, my last flight, I watched a bunch of movies. This is the first time where I was like, I'm just going to watch movies. And I watched one of the Alien movies. It was Alien. What's the one that's out right now? Romulus?
And then there was one out.
Yeah, there's a new one out, right?
I know Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection, and oh no, Prometheus.
Covenant. I watched Alien Covenant. And I got to say, I love...
How are they still making more Alien movies? How much more can they talk about?
That's the thing
them?
is, like, I like that. Like they're all there's a cool history. There's a cool lore. I love the way they're created, like the way they were made, and I love like the artificial intelligence, robots, all this cool stuff that's around it. Like it's these amazing stories. But then when you sit down and watch these things, they just they devolve into slasher movies of like, okay, this guy gets killed, this guy gets killed, this guy gets killed.
Meanwhile, I just want Nightmare on Elm Street to come back, which I was reading about recently, where apparently it was like Robert Englund would only come back if they did an animated version, which is understandable because the guy is really old. Yeah. But with that said, that is a movie where, as old as it is, I'd be okay if they rebooted it beyond that new Nightmare or whatever that. What did they do? Nightmare on Elm Street, the reboot?
I've never watched any of those movies.
Oh my God, those were great back in the day. The first two, they intended to be serious, more so the first and the second. But then from the third movie on, which conveniently the third movie on when I actually saw them in the theater, they pretty went in on the camp.
Yeah,
Freddy Krueger became a Joker, making funny quips as he was killing teenagers, and it was just like
that's what people liked about it, though, right?
That's what I liked about it. It was like, how is he going to kill this kid? And keep in mind, I was like 7 or 8 at the time.
Oh, my God.
And I'm in the theater at 7 years, like, how's he going to kill the next kid? Because that was when Dream Warriors came out. I saw the second one for the first time, and that was when I was a child. And, of course, I don't think my parents really cared what I watched because they were watching. My dad was watching the second movie. I was walking, and I watched it. This was like 1986 or 7.
Yeah. Wow, man, I can't imagine.
And
because even at that age, I was that stuff like terrified me. Like, I couldn't get into it.
Let's not get it twisted. I had nightmares. I mean, I watched Child's Play. I think I told you this story before. I watched Child's Play when that came out, brand new movie. Saw it in the theater, in fact. And I had a My Buddy doll, which for those who don't know, which is possible because Chucky's outlasted the product at this point.
Yeah.
Chucky was inspired by a children's doll called My Buddy. And I had a My Buddy doll. And my Buddy doll, I used to sleep with it.
Yeah.
But after seeing Child's Play, I didn't want to sleep with it for a while. So I had it kind of leaning up against the door, like against the wall near the door.
Yeah, so you wake up.
And my nightlight was on.
Yeah.
And I kept checking to see if my buddy would move or not. I actually thought it was going to get up and start running.
All this stuff hits me so different as a parent now because, like, I just want to, like, I don't want them to be scared, you know? I don't want them, like, to ever be scared of anything like that.
But that's the trick, though. I think...
What's the trick, Pernell?
Well, I'm not saying the trick as the secret is actually... No, I honestly believe that there's a healthy amount of fear that comes out of it.
There is, and that's and kids are interested in that stuff, right? Because it's like it's an adult world. And it's a safe place to have like a bit of a thrill, and it's like a new experience that seems like they shouldn't be doing it, and it's like I get that, like I understand that, but there's a part of me that wants to be really protective, you know, because I was kind of fearful.
Also, because you're a good dad.
Oh, well, thank you.
But like, there's like this, like think of it like this, right? There's the too coddled kid. Yeah. Where now all of a sudden every small thing that they encounter in their normal life is like, I don't know, it's just sort of. Then there's also the other extreme where it's like you create a daredevil child.
Yeah.
He's the one goading everyone else to cross the railroad tracks over the water.
So there's my brother-in-law, like their kids, I love all of them. But David, what was he, like 14, 13? As a family, they're all sitting down, just binging The Walking Dead. Every single episode they can get into.
There it is.
And I'm like, man.
Just know if you ever come into your kitchen and Ollie's playing the knife game, you went too far. You let him get too risky.
Anyway, other movies I saw on a plane I want to tell you about because I think you might literally like them, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're going to wrap up the show. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been giving us support on our Discord and on Facebook and emails. It's been really nice getting all those. What's that? Yeah, I'm going right to that.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
I'm working up to it. I want to thank everyone who's been supporting us on Patreon through all of this time. By supporting us on Patreon, you get access to, I think there's some cool merchandise you get exclusively through Patreon. We were doing exclusive live streams, but we're recording fewer times. So we're gonna think of
We could do one next month.
I need to figure out the technology.
Oh, it's still not quite set. We could do a test.
I need to do a bunch of testing because I'm sorry. I want to thank everyone on Patreon, but my internet in my new house is terrible. Comcast, you can pound some sand. Don't like you.
I feel like one suggestion, and if listeners here, they can chime in, or you might be like, no, this ain't working. But just even though we already do this once a month and you split it, we should just do 1 week where it's not even a real episode. It's literally just hanging out.
Just hanging out, yeah.
And that is us doing a live stream, and we're testing to make sure everything works, and people can come on and hang out.
Yeah, and then I was thinking maybe when we record, have that live stream just along with it.
Yeah.
And that could be access to that. So, but anyway, that needs to be tested for sure because I have a hard time streaming out of this house because of Comcast.
Yeah, Comcast is awful. I got away from them, and I never want to go back.
Trying to get Verizon in this neighborhood, and they are just not coming to my block.
My dad would be like, how much do you pay for your internet? And I'll tell him, that's way too much. I'm like, no, it's just enough for what I'm getting.
It's just right.
Reliability and speed.
So anyway, we're working on some additional good things. So the people who are sticking with us, despite not having those monthly live streams and this,
we
and that,
do appreciate
we really
the heck
do
out
appreciate
of
it. So,
and I'm not even kidding when I say if you're like, hey, Pernell, let's play this game together, chat online or something. I would honestly do it as long as I can schedule it. Obviously, I would absolutely do it.
We are available, and I have some ideas, especially when we have a little bit more breathing room, some additional things to expand what we do on the show. I've been having fun with the t-shirts, so at rhythmandpixels.com/merch, we have some fun new designs there. So I'm having a lot more fun there. But I want to thank everyone on Patreon who's been supporting us at the highest levels. I want to thank Night Train 36 Corey. Thank you very, very much. And Khalid, all the way from Germany, supporting us for so long. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. Superstars. I want to thank Kristen GameFan44, Antmaster, Brian Pitt, Cameron Worma, Carlos Kung Fu Carlito from the Heroes 3 podcast, Chris Weisner, a.k.a. Musashi219.
He's still the wise guy.
Still the wise guy. Christopher Senstrom, host of Gameable Audio. Davey Cakes, David Good, David Taylor, and Charlotte Regol. Harold Howard. We got Jamie Palmieri Guy, Triple Jeff, and Justin Schneider of XVGM Radio. Kitty Sparks, Martyris, host... Oh, my cat is trying to get on me now. Martyris, host of the VGM podcast.
That's correct.
Is that still going on?
It's still going on.
And we have
still getting it in.
Rage Cage, who has closed the doors, at least temporarily, of the VG Emporium.
Yeah, but I believe he told me he was going to be bringing it back. He's redoing some retooling.
Yeah, we totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank Reinhard Zilkova, Steve Miller, and Taco, and Zach Thornbach. All of you, and many more. Thank you so much for your continued support of our little program. We really appreciate it.
It's definitely appreciated.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I was like, I remember back when we were off on our delay or whatnot, and I asked Rob, I was like, do people even care about this show? And he was like, people still are patrons.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
People, yeah. I mean, I feel like if I'm keeping, I stopped the Patreon for a few months, but I was still keeping up on the YouTube radio stations and this and that. So I was like, okay, there's still stuff out there, but
we still exist.
We still exist, and I still want things hosted. I don't want us just languishing on the Internet Archive.
That's another thing I think would be interesting. I wonder if anybody would give a hoot, how the wise guy just does random game streams. If people would give a crap if I just streamed off of PS5 sometimes, hey, I'm going to play games today anyway. I'll just make it live. Just know that I'm not that guy that's going to blitz a game. If I play a game, I'm going to look at every barrel.
I know, but I think if you play a game online but chat through the whole thing, I think it would be very entertaining still.
Oh, I would totally chat.
No, people don't tune in to watch expert gameplay all the time. People tune in to, listen to personalities that they enjoy listening to.
Well, that's good to hear because I ain't no expert.
Yeah. So I think if you get a decent setup with the gameplay and with a microphone, I think it would be fantastic.
Well, if it's on PS5, that's the beauty of it. It's just a headset. You don't need a microphone.
Yeah, let's stream it right to our Rhythm and Pixels Twitch.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right.
That'd be fun. I mean, maybe give me an excuse to even pick up games I might have missed, like when I did I played the entirety of Crash 3.
That can be your that could be your Steam night. Okay, new random Steam game. Let's go.
I wonder how I guess I could with Steam too, because the Steam Deck docks, so it's possible.
Yeah, just whatever's on your TV, you can just stream to a PC, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, we can work out the technical details because finding time for myself is tough.
I understand.
But you can do it.
But I can sit down, just sitting in my house doing what I was going to do anyway.
You can do it. All right. We don't have a topic for next week, so we'll discuss that. But we have a little bit of time to figure that out. Mm-hmm. Maybe something wacky.
Tiny Toons. Yeah, I'm sure there's something.
Tiny Toons games. That's it.
God. I think we did that years ago. That was Sky Games.
Sky Games, yeah. Warner Brothers. We just do Warner Brothers. I wanted to do Muppet Games.
I don't know how it even does, like with the Great Muppet Caper or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's something that's floating around there. There's games I've wanted to bring content from, like Garbanzo Quest. I just want to bring up Garbanzo Quest. So.
Bean games.
Actually, does Bean Quest have the OST on? That would be hilarious just to bring up.
The Bean Machine?
No, well, that too. But like Bean Quest was the first and pretty much only mobile game next to freaking that Final Fantasy game that I actually gave a crap about. I paid money for Bean's Quest.
Oh, is that the Cartoon Network one?
No, Bean's Quest was this little rinky-dink game where you're a Mexican jumping bean. And you are hopping, you are indefinitely hopping. And you tap left and right to actually move where he's going, but he's always jumping. Yeah. And it's a platformer. And I bought it. It was really colorful. The music sounded nice.
Yeah, I've only bought a few mobile games. I bought Threes. Threes deserve my money because I spent
Fours.
So much time playing Threes.
You had to get Fours.
Vampire Survivors.
What about Fours?
Fours? No. The other one they did was called 2024.
Oh. What about Fives?
Where are my Threes at? Threes is one of my cozy games, and I think I've already played the music from that game, like one of our first episodes.
Cozy.
Anyway, so everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to us ramble these last few minutes here. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell, and I can't find Bean's Quest.
He's looking for Bean's Quest on his phone. Have a great rest of your month. We'll see you in November.
And remember, there, like I said to Rob earlier, I guess I'll say that, yeah. Fear is a terrible, and on a surface feels like a terrible thing, you know. You feel something, you're afraid of something, you freak out, you get tense, nervous, your heart rate races, blood pressure flows. But there is a healthy aspect of fear too. Fear lets you know what to be concerned about, what to avoid. Danger is lurking, you know. Stay away from these things. But there's also a little bit of a fun aspect of fear too, like as I say, the healthy level of fear. Don't necessarily shy away from experiences that might otherwise scare you. Amusement park rides, scary movies, weird food items you could try at a restaurant, weird beverages that were not handed to you by a stranger. Find that out. Like sometimes it's fun to face those fears. It's fun to say, I don't know what this drink's going to taste like, but I'm going to give it a shot. You haven't lived until you've had a Frank's Red Hot Passion Fruit Smoothie. I'm telling you, thing's disgusting, but it was so fun to try, and I was terrified, but I tried it anyway. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to try new experiences. Don't let your fear rule your opportunity to experience new things, because that is not a life you want long term. That's regret waiting to happen. And baby, I don't want none of that. And now I'm going to Bumble. Good night.
We'll see you on Bumble. Have a good night. Pernell will find you on Bumble.
On Bumble. It's like a damn commercial. I think that is the commercial.
Yeah. I found him on Bumble. Now let him go.
I've been stuck on Bumble.
Am I fighting with an enemy? Everything is over. In the shadows I feel